Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News. Darren, off the back of the first meeting for the new season and the new year, and a very successful one, both turnover-wise and racing-wise.
Yeah, look, we had a couple of small fields, but turnover was pretty good, just shy of 1.1, margin was 26%. A couple of those outsiders helped that no end, Warlock and of course Folklore.
Yeah.
God knows how she was paying that, to be quite honest. It was an even field, but gee, it was a big dividend for her.
Yeah, we'll have a good look back at a couple of those races too, an opportunity to do that. But yeah, she's always been a good mare, and when she can follow speed like that, she's quite exceptional. Back on track again this week, and you can show us, it's very, very easy to go to the Addington website and book in and get involved on a race.
Yeah, look, addington.co.nz, another back on track this week, which if you like is a discounted version of the trackside dining. Yep. So it's only $45 a ticket. And you pay for your drinks on top of that. So just addington.co.nz, follow your nose to back on track. And if you do the same thing, click the events button. All of the trackside dining dates right up until June, July are on there now, so you can make bookings. Yep. And they are flowing in for some of those feature meetings, particularly those May features. Yeah,
well, we certainly had a big crowd here last week for the first of those. Talking about having a look back at what unfolded last week, the Garrards Premier Mares, it's the key lead-up race to the now $90,000 Fahey Fence Hire Breeders, which is Friday week. But we'll have a look at the last 600 metres of this race, and I was standing out the front with you, Darren, and we both said, Folklore's had a good run, because there was an early burn from quite a few of the runners, including All American Lover, Manhattan, and the like, and as a result, they turned for home here, and Manhattan's in front. Kelly's Delight had burnt early, but it had a pretty good run. Folklore was sitting 3 back on the outside. Outstanding run from All American Lover. Nothing wrong with that at all. Lady of the Light had no luck back in the field. You've got to consider her next time. And Life's a Beach the same. But have a look at this. This is a demolition job. 6.5 lengths. She's a very, very good mare, and she was simply too good for that man, Johnny Cox, who had co-trained Jack Adjusty to win the Dominion. But this was his first group race win, so a very special race for him.
Yeah, no, she's been a good mare. The owners had a really good time. They come down to the presentation area and said, gee, we're not dressed for that. I said, don't worry about that, just get in and enjoy it. No, and they really did enjoy it. They got a real kick out of it, and so did Johnny. Of course, Kim,
she ran fourth on Better's Tart.
She had a good run, and was overlooking after this horse while Johnny was celebrating. So look, they had a good night, and congratulations to them. He's a hard worker, Johnny, and a group win, and perhaps more to come from her. She's in the zone. And
Boudica was good in second as well. Be remiss of me not to mention the Tony Thomas train. Tony just loves his harness, and now he's had a Group 2 placing with her, and she's been going great for the last 12 months, to be fair. Yeah,
and a couple of these other mares, All American Lover and Manhattan, had to draw wide and
do some work.
So all goes well for the Fahey Fence Hire New Zealand Breeders' Stakes next week.
Yeah, absolutely. The other race I wanted to have a look at was this race. Here's Martha Stewart in front, Darren, and this is when she's at her absolute best. She was beautifully handled by Carter Dalgetty. Once she finds the front, she takes a heck of a lot of running down, and she was simply too good on this occasion.
Yeah, look, she was. It was a really cool race, because it was the Grant Beckett and Di Beckett's daughter, Gemma, her 18th birthday, and they sponsored this race. There's a couple here, Greg. I noticed old Rachmaninoff, Trevor Grant. He was doing his best work at the finish. He's an honest horse. He's won 114 odd thousand. He takes his place in the group race this week.
Yep.
So
Spider Moment was excellent. Paris Prince was pretty unlucky. You saw Blair Orridge probing for runs there. And horses that are lining up this week, including Light of the Moon, Sunny Louis goes to a junior drivers race, and I think it'll be pretty competitive in that. Just inside second row, ended up back last and had no luck. So yeah, I'd forgive it that run. But Martha Stewart, Jason and Ian Thomas, they've been doing a magic job for ages, and Carter Dalgetty grabbed another double, so his run of form continues.
Yeah, the Fords, with Navarra running second there, they're having a really good run with their horses as well, do a really good job as well. So no, that was a cool race, good fun, and Gemma managed to get herself on the mobile gate, but we left that till race 10,
right,
and she was out there in the rain.
Right, not ideal. Yeah, it did turn a little bit late in the program. Darren, we've got racing obviously on Friday night. We'll have a good preview of that. I do think Sunny Louis is a good bet in race 8, number 8, and Sporty Charlie, who lined up in the feature pace last week in that race of an upset, would have needed the run, I would say. They went pretty quick. it'll derive plenty out of that. It'll be hard to beat race 9, number 3, but it's not the only track that's racing in the next week. In fact, it's Waitangi Day on Monday, and the traditional date for Amberley.
Yeah, so we look after the fields for that. Brian Rabbit's the secretary for the club out there. They have a really good day on the grass at Rangiora. There's always plenty of entertainment, lots of kids' prizes, kids' entertainment and that as well. So if you're not doing anything Monday after the races here on Friday, good day to head out to Rangiora.
I think they've got 11, haven't they?
Yeah,
big full fields.
Forecast is pretty hot right through, including ours. I think Saturday's even about 32 predicted at the moment.
It's going to be pretty warm.
It's going to be good, and if you like sort of the last roll of the dice for summer racing with that real grass track environment, so a good idea to get there. Methven had a good meeting on Sunday. Their turnover was really good, just shy of 1.2 on 10 races, and of course they had the clubs of Canterbury there, Keith Ballantyne and the club.
They had about 600 people in the market.
Really good stuff, and people enjoying their racing at the moment.
Absolutely. We're in the Brecon Winning Owners Bar here, and not only Brecons, but the likes of Woodlands and Renwick Farms and all of those that are preparing their yearlings. It's wet in some areas of the country and it's very hot in others, so challenging times for them. But make sure you get online, nzbstandardbred.co.nz. Check out all of the yearlings that are available. There's videos and photos and all sorts of things there. 19th at Karaka, 2021-22. We have the trotting sale the first day, of course, and then the pacing sale 21-22 of February at Agricultural Park. So we encourage people to get involved there, and just go to HRNZ if you're not too sure how to go about it. There's plenty of information there, and all of the trainers' numbers are there. Just ring one of them. There's some people doing some great things. The likes of Bob Butt getting to nearly 50 wins for the season, and there's some really good young talented trainers that would be only too happy for you to be part of their stable.
Yeah, a lot of them on social media now with Facebook and the like.
Matt Purvis was another one I was thinking of. Yeah. They had great top 10 finishes in the trainers' Premiership.
Yeah, look, they'll give you a hand, and it might not be that you're looking to buy a horse yourself. You want to be part of a syndicate, or you want to dip the toe in and see what it's about, or just go and have a yarn to them and see how it all works. So happy to give you a hand. Obviously race night and things like that, they're a bit busy, but trainers are always looking for owners, and they're keen to get people involved in the game, so it's an important time for the industry. All
right, we've got a 10 race program to preview, so we'll start doing that now for you. But don't forget, if you want to have a bet just on a couple of runners, race 6 number 8 Sunny Louie, and race 9 number 3 Sporty Charlie.
All right, let's get into a full meeting preview for another Friday night. We get underway with race 1 at 5:18. IRT, Your Horse, Our Passion, Mobile Pace, 1980.
Yeah, good race too, Darren. Rise Up and Dance will be the one to beat. Nathan Williamson comes to Addington Raceway with a couple of chances, and this one's obviously out of a good family, a family he's had strong success with. And the first up run I thought was excellent at Omacau, was probably expected to win that, but Man United have been punching around in the maiden grade for a wee while and was always going to win a maiden, so that was no surprise at all. Natural improvement, big Addington track. Yeah, I think there's a few ticks there, so I'm happy to go with it. Field of Poppy, speaking of Brendan Hill, keeps going good races and is clearly going to win a maiden. Solid performance here last week in behind Jezebel, who was overdue to win a maiden. So, yep, decent chance again. Ricky May takes the reins. Miley Ace from Barrier 2 for the Thornleys. 2 good runs from this mare by Gold Ace. Got a bit of breeding about her, and she went good races at Blenheim both days and hit the beach. Did a good job last campaign. Comes up with Barrier 1 for Danny Oldfield and Colin DePhilippi. Probably might need a run, but it's going to get an economical one from the inside. 7, 6, 2 and 1 in the first.
Race 2, first leg of the early quaddie. Woodlands Stud, We Sell Winners, and they certainly do. Fillies and Mares Mobile Pace, part of the Fillies and Mares support that Woodlands provide Addington for racing for Fillies and Mares at the Raceway. 1980 Greg Mobile, it gets underway at 5:43.
Yeah, and they're in for a massive time in the next couple of weeks building into the sale there at Karaka. Chambray and A Better You both come out of the mark, and Nathan Purden-Barn, and both are in winning form, and both have been racing really well. Sorry, A Better You finished second behind Dancing Desire last time. Chambray has the better barrier draw, and therefore I just gave the advantage to her, but not by a whole lot. So there won't be much between that pair. Pink Panther Pounce has done a really good job, and only the 4 starts to date. Didn't have much luck on debut, and since then it's just gone terrific, including that last start winning performance here last week over South Seas Rock, who's racing really well. So give it a chance too. And Silk for Ivan Court from Barrier 3, you know where she'll be, Darren. She'll be in front, whether she stays there or not. I don't think it matters. She's got to be a great first 4 chance. But I think the Purdon team of Mark and Nathan can dominate the second.
He does a good job with his horses. They really begin quickly. Ivan Court's ones put themselves in a great position always. Race 3, Stora Motors, Reg Stora, the handicap trot, 2,600 at 6.17.
30 metres behind for Repeat Pat, but the way he went at Nelson both days, you won't count him out here. He's a trotter on the rise. He's obviously now with Robert and Jenna Dunn, and John told us on SENZ Trots Talk that he thought he might need the run first day. Didn't need the run the first day, and then came out and bolted in the second day. So, yeah, he's a pretty good horse, Repeat Pat. So he can win again. Royal Dell hasn't been seen since winning its last start, although it's been to the trials and trialled nicely behind Oscar Bonavina. Royal Dell's a talented horse. Going to be racing in Free for All Company very, very shortly by Royal Aspirations. So doing a good job, as we know. Euro Cash for Greg and Nina Hope, and he raced really well over the Christmas period, including a last start second behind Repeat Pat. Obviously gets a handicap advantage this time, so it'll be right in this. And then I wasn't sure who to throw in for fourth, and I thought, well, how can you possibly leave the Bloss out of this? She's been such a fantastic mare for the Borkowskis. Yes, she's 9 now. She's won 14 races, Darren. What's she up to? Over 160,000, and she races super fresh, and she'll step first, and she'll probably be in front. So, yeah, you've got to have her in your first 4 too. But if Repeat Pat does what he has been doing, he should win this.
Race number 4, XEM Sport, a standing start, 2,600 at 6.42.
Yeah, look, God of Thunder comes out of that hot maiden field, that outstanding field at Nelson on the first day, won by Brando. Double time, just got beaten in it. Has been a subsequent won 2 races, isn't it? So last week here at Addington as well. So God of Thunder was heavily backed and spruiked by Gavin Smith, and just got it wrong at the start and was out of play after that. Put in a big run from about the 600, but not surprisingly faded late. He's a pretty good horse, this guy, and I think he can win this race if he brings his manners. So I'll go for him on top. To beat Michael Caine, the 1, solid performer for Greg and Nina Hope. Maiden winner's not too far away. Bodine Quickstep, the same can be said. Second in his last 3 starts, including at Methven on Sunday. And Kilauea has been racing well, has finished second in 3 of his last 4 starts. So, he's not far from a win. But I think God of Thunder will be reasonably backed, I think. The bookies won't let it get out too long, and I reckon there'll be money for it. So it'll be hard to beat in race 4.
Race 5 is the last leg of that early quaddie. Alabar Mobile Pace 1980 at 7.09. And of course, Alabar, good supporters of Addington Raceway as well, and they'll be in for a big time with the Yearlings Sales as well, Greg.
Yeah, definitely. And they've got themselves a good race here. Ted's Legacy just keeps on going good races. He took a wee while to find the front the other day. I think Jim Curtin might try and get there a little bit earlier than what Ben Hope was able to last time, and that's no knock on him, but if he is able to get there, and over the 1980, I think he'll need to be. He'll be the one to beat. If you get a chance to go back and have a look at the Coleman's run, he had basically no chance in that same race behind Aiming for Glory, the junior drivers race, and just kept on making up ground in this straight. He's a pretty handy horse, this guy, and he'd been down to Roxburgh and placed down there. That was in behind Casino Action, who's just been low flying, as we know. So I'll give the Coleman a good each way chance. Jira's racing really well. Won 2 starts back. That was Nelson the first day, and then the second day performance behind Casino Action was good. So not without a chance either. And Better Be Sharp was great last week. It was a very patient drive by Sarah O'Reilly. She had to go for the lead, couldn't get it, and then Ted's Legacy took the lead, so she knew the lead wasn't there, and I thought he battled on really well for 4th, so I give him a decent chance, even off the second row this week. Go 6, 7, 8, 11.
Race number 6 is a junior drivers race sponsored by SENZ, of course, all the network across New Zealand with racing and sport. Mobile Trot, Greg, over 1980 at 7.37.
Another opportunity for our junior Reigns people here. And it's a good one, Darren. I thought Look, I went for Sonny Louie, and anyone who watches this knows how big a fan I am of him. He just had no chance last week. But when you've got Luttrell in there, Martha Stewart, who was so good winning again and just keeps on going great races, she's going to be the next one, Darren, to follow the Sue Princesses and the Blosses and the Rachmaninoffs into the $100,000 club, because she's so consistent for Jason and Ian Thomas. So I went Sonny Louie, probably a little bit parochial there, over Luttrell, then Martha Stewart. And Tedesco's first up has Zara Power, who, of course, got her first win in December here at Addington Raceway. Tedesco's first up, but certainly has the ability to figure in the finish. 8, 9, 7 and 6, but it's a good race when you're leaving out another one of those $100,000 performers in Sod's Law, Darren.
Yeah, there's a few of those horses around that have won that money, including the one in the next race, Rachmaninoff.
Yeah.
Race number 7 is the Continental Event Hire Summer Free for All, a mobile 1980, a Group 3 race, $27,000 at 8:07. And Continental Event Hire, of course, responsible for the Continental Pavilion, the new pavilion that we had on Cup Day and Show Day this year, as well as all of the other marquees that are on the property, Greg.
Yeah, they do a great job for us at that time and get behind the raceway with a race like this. Muscle Mountain gets a chance to get a three-peat in this race. We know how well he races fresh. His last start performance was at Group 1 level in the trotting free-for-all. He was too good. I can't see any reason why he won't be winning again. Oscar Bonavina's obviously in good form. Like he always performs well here at Addington Raceway. Can't see any reason why he won't do this time, but I think Muscle Mountain will just have too much sheer power for him. Five Wise Men obviously coming out of the race. Time Up the Hills, Group 1 place. Raced really well at Methven, of course, winning the Green Mile there. Then came here and raced well at Omakau. So you can't count her out, Darren, in any races she lines up. And Matuatana finally got back in the winning circle last time, but I think they'll be chasing a shadow here, and it'll be in the form of Muscle Mountain.
Race number 8 is at 8:37, the Brecon Farms Yearlings Sale 2023 handicap pace, a 2,600 metre race. And of course, massive effort by Brecon Farms, not only with sponsorship around the place, Greg, and everything else that Karen and Ken are involved in with throughout the country, but of course a massive time for them for the yearling sales.
36 yearlings they got, Darren, 23 colts. And when you start looking through some of the mares that they're out of, wow, it's a great draft. And even on paper, and I've been lucky enough to see all the videos and the photos as well, this will clear. I think it's 10 years they've been doing the yearlings. Nigel Fahey is their man these days, and he's got the horses looking incredible. So can't wait to see how well the draft goes. Good luck to them. Laver, he's back at the races, and he can win this. The way he's trialled up, I think he can definitely win it. On ability, he can definitely win it. He's a huge chance. So I'll go with him. 6 Laver to beat Mighty Louie, who came back into the country and went bang, bang at Nelson. Upset them the first day. There was no such thing as an upset the second day and went 152. Just didn't work out in Aussie for him. So great to have him back in that sort of form. Henry Hubert got the win at Omakau, which got John Dunn to 1,500 career wins. So he'll never forget that one. And One Change has been racing well without a lot of luck. Is back there with Henry Hubert, so he's got some friends along with Mighty Louie and Laver 10 metres in front of that pair. So they really should dominate. I still think they will. You got the upset winner, Warlock, Heisenberg, Deceptively, and Terry. So they won't make it easy, but I reckon it's running numbers for me, D. 6, 7, 8 and 9.
Race number 9, Fahey Fence Hire, another massive supporter of Addington Raceway, mobile pace 1980, and it gets underway at 9:06.
Quite like the runner Sporty Charlie first up. I think he would have needed it, and he drops in grade for this. That was in the race won by Warlock. He's got a nice barrier draw, 1980. Colin Dula to Philippi, Colin doing the driving. I'll go for him on top. Celtic Spirit will get him at the start. He'll have a decent crack at it anyway, being Hope. Very, very fast horse off the machine. Went to Nelson, raced well both days. He's starting to grow up as a racehorse now, so they've given him the time that he's needed, and I think he'll be very competitive in this. McCrikey from the same stable gets a barrier draw to operate from and is very quick off a wheel. So I like it too. And Casino Action's racing so well, you can't count him out. He's won 2 of his last 3. 3, 4, 1 and 6, but almost the race of the night, that one, Darren. I think there'll be a lot of form to come out of that.
Absolutely. Race number 10, as it normally is. First Direct Taxi's pace. This one a standing start 2600 at 9:34, and again, another massive supporter of Addington Raceway, First Direct Taxis.
Yeah, they are, and the other way to get home, especially if you enjoyed yourself and spectators, which many people do. Look, Hurricane Hendricks brings winning form to Addington Raceway off the back of that last start win at Owamaru, and no reason to think that he went to Omakau. He improved from that. He should improve again, and Nathan's no fool. There's no way to bring him here if he didn't think he could win. So I think he can come together. Comes back to a stand here, but I don't think that'll be a problem for her. Bob Butt, Colin DeFilippi, absolute dynamite. I know it's been a little bit disappointing for Robert and Jenna Dunn, but he can bounce back here. He's definitely got a hope in this. And Bellissimo Equestro is Robbie Holmes's charge, and although it's a bit of a mouthful to get out, absolutely decent sort of a 4-year-old this, and I reckon he can play a part in this last race. But I'll go for the horse from Branksheim, from the Nathan Williamson barn in Hurricane Hendricks. And just reiterating what we said before, 2 grade each ways on Friday night. Sunny Louis, race 6 rather, number 8, and race 9, number 3, Sporty Charlie.
Look, it's going to be a good night again on Friday night. The weather's meant to be pretty hot, and all of the barrels and everything else will be out across the lawn, as people have been enjoying it, Greg, out there in front of the smoker, the Chunky's Corner smoker. It's a bar over there as well as spectators after the last race. So come and see us on Friday night. We're going to leave you with the first group race of this new year, the 2023 year, the Garrards Premier Mares Classic, won by Folklore for Johnny Cox. A really special moment. He couldn't resist giving himself a wee salute just past the post, and good on him.
27.9 the back straight quarter, Manhattan for home from All American Lover. Folklore descending quickly, she gobbled them up, Folklore. Back to the inside, Kelly's Delight's running on, but Folklore has cruised clear inside the 100 metres. She's put a gap in them. Folklore and Johnny Cox races away with the Premier Mares, won it by nearly 6. They lined up for the minors. It's a photo between All American Lover and Boudica. Better's Tart maybe for 4th ahead of Kelly's Delight. Then came Dancing Desire, Life's a Beach, Manhattan Evangelist, Glory's Delight, Lady of the Light, Coachella, and Superstar Legend. And that was so easy.